All the way and let them take pictures. You know, this is a famous off-Broadway actress. This is Lola Magdalena. Take a picture. She's famous on YouTube.
Museum. We're going to have a little chat with Miss Whoopi Goldberg. We're going to ask her.
Well, Whoopi, say something.
How she feels about life, what's going on with all these crazy young girls going around doing wild stuff.
She looks a little stiff. You think that she's been drinking?
A little too much. Some drinking and some smoking.
Yeah?
And she knows she's in trouble now.
Wow. Well, let's take a look at that face. She has that glassy-eyed look.
Because she's high.
She's what?
High. You know what I mean? She's high.
You gotta check out
WEPAwebTV.
The first time that I saw Delilah was in a small cafe outside of Seattle. She was a vision. Me being the kind of guy that I am, I got myself up, dusted myself off, and walked up to her at the bar. She was talking to her friends, and I started to tap her leg, and tap her leg, and tap her leg. I must have tapped that leg for at least a half hour. Finally, she turned to me.
Pero papi, ¿qué tú estás haciendo tocando una pata así? Why you touching my leg?
Well, mommy, I'm trying to kick it to you.
You're not going to get my attention tapping that kicker.
And she reached back and pulled up a pants leg and revealed a wooden leg. Mamacita had an artificial leg. I was intrigued. I'm an unbroken cowboy, in love with the open ranges, in love with her. Small town, one-legged dance hall girl, known as Delilah Blue. A sensuous comet streaking across my sky mind, 22 Raven in her pocketbook, a stiletto hidden by the prosthetic of her little leg. The sun rises for me every time Delilah's eyes open. She speaks, and my soul is filled. Delilah can figure out my little boy's secrets with her spirit. We met in the Cascade Mountain Desert, but were far from being dry. She was such a wonder to be with. Always on time. And a high-maintenance kind of gal. I always had to have money to be with Delilah, so I was always looking for my opportunity to make some cash. And one day I happened to hustle a couple of guys in a pool game. Took their money. They realized they'd been hustled, and I ran out into the parking lot. They were coming out there to kick my butt. When suddenly from the shadows I hear,
Hey! Get away from my friend.
boom, boom, boom! It was Delilah with her 22. They ran off. I married her 3 days later. You just have to hook up with somebody who busts a cap for you, yo. Yeah. We spent so much time doing time together. On our wedding night, I asked Delilah, yo, baby, how did you lose your leg?
I grew tired of it. It weighed me down.
Que si que. Later, bathed in incense, candles, and the sticky, bittersweet smell of lovemaking, I peeked inside Delilah's soul and witnessed a lifetime of breaking and resetting. Her body, the God, did not quite complete. One leg shorter than the other. Her spine, which couldn't support her height, which rose above the turmoil. The final straw came at the hands of 5 drunken Marines who raped, burned, and tortured her. It had been a trick party. She had been a working girl. Hey, I did not judge her. She did not judge me. I had my own set of sins. She was the perfect Bonnie to my Clyde. At the hospital, the doctor said, Miss Blue, we could save your life, but maybe not the leg. She had the leg cut off immediately.
You know, Papi, you got to cut away the past to walk into the future.
I cried that night hearing her story and laid the foundation for a year of twisty love. I encourage her wildness. She encourages my abandon. Our need to be bad, be with each other, and be in love, outweighing the risks. At the Metropolitan Museum of Art, as I dived into the torture of Van Gogh's face, Delilah robbed a tourist of $3,000 in the museum bathroom. Presented it to me.
Here you go, Papi. Here's my dowry.
That was some gal. Past indiscretions came calling for Delilah and me during a rum and cocaine choke celebration of our first year anniversary. I found Delilah dazed on the bedroom floor, boozy sighs pouring from her lips into my ears.
Ay, Papi, me duele tanto. Hasta me duele la conciencia.
The pain is so bad, even my conscience hurts. It was spring, and we were blind. I knew I had to act and light a path for Delilah to escape and save myself. Delilah, who could always figure out my little boy secrets, acted. She walked into her first federal bank alone, made a 357 withdrawal, wrote me a note, and flew back west.
Papi, thanks for the Star Spike Rodeo, but I've grown tired of it.
It weighs me down. I cried that night reading that note, but I understood because Delilah had shown me by her example, by her courage. You got to cut away the past to walk into the future. You see, you can't enjoy the light of reason unless you first experience the dark night of the soul.